Oh, so typically it is, I think that men, as we get older, we look better as we get older, right? I feel like our
make
physical.
me punch you in your face.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Damn.
Typically, our prime for men, I think is like 40, something like that. I think it is something like that. Like it's something crazy.
Tastemakers.
Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, alright. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
Batman, aka Marques Houston, aka Kells 2.0. So Marques,
not Kells 2.0.
Because listen, Marques Houston. So let me just give y'all the real quick facts.
Batman.
I got okay. So Marques Houston got married back in the Panini. It was 2020 when he got married to this lovely young lady, Miss Maya. I don't know where I'm pointing to, Miss Maya. They got married August of 2020, so in the middle of the pandemic, which means they probably had a pandemic baby. His wife, though, Miss Maya Houston, was 19 when they got married, and Marques, Roger.
He's got to be my age.
He's 39 at the time. Mark was
39 at that time.
Marques was born the same year we was born. So we was old. He's an 81 baby.
Yeah.
Now I think they Jehovah's Witnesses because the picture with them and the baby, she's like, I'm so glad we're raising our baby in the truth. And Marques got what looks like some sort of tablet situation in here, and they dress like they go into church. So I think they J-Dubs, which then makes me think, is this normal in J-Dub culture? Like,
why do you think they're Jehovah's Witness though?
They are.
Why?
I looked it up. They're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, you looked it up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that makes me think: is this common in J-Dub culture? Do they like commonly marry off young women to like old heads? Because that's wild to me. Here's the thing about Miss Maya though. Miss Maya Houston, aka Miss Mayana Juanita Dickey Houston, who's she's like a makeup artist in LA. She was an influencer when she met him. I think when she met him, she was an influencer. She's a makeup artist, social media girly.
When they met, she was 17, right?
She was 17. She'll turn 23 in October of this year. So sis was born in 2000. Marques was born in 81. Okay. So now Maya
is crazy.
Which means when he was out here on tour with his little shirt off, she was being born, guys. As a mom, I'm mortified.
Please don't go. That's words of man.
Mayana is allegedly a runaway. Like sis ran away from home when she was 15 and went missing for 2 years.
Now I heard something about that too. What was
when she popped up? She was 17, which is when her and Marques met. And then
I heard something about her disappearing for some years. Yeah,
she ran away and was gone for like 2 years.
But nobody technically that don't got nothing to do with him, though.
No, that doesn't. But I'm thinking, my mind is like, if you disappeared and you ran away, and you showed up 2 years later, and when you showed up, it was because you met Marques, then maybe you're securing a future for yourself in this grown adult older man because you're 17. Anyway, her mama lost custody of her. Like, so she comes from I'm just trying to rationalize in my mind why you at 19 would marry a 39-year-old. Now, I, as a young woman, have dated.
All right.
I dated older dudes.
But Key, for one, Houston still looked young. For two, Houston got money. What are we talking about here?
Right. But
that's
I wasn't marrying 39-year-old men. At 19, I was dating men who were late 20s, early 30s, but I wasn't marrying late 20s, early 30s. Like he was 20. He was 20 when she was born. She could be his kid. Yeah.
Different.
Like, that's wild to me. And so now everybody's kind of like, because it's giving grooming. It's giving, I met her. I know in the interview, I know Brina got the video. He was like, oh, I couldn't really talk to her. I didn't really have any contact with her. I don't know.
Brina, you got the video?
Yeah.
Well, let's get the video.
Yeah.
My wife's situation is a little different with how we met, through mutual friends and everything like that. When I met my wife, she was 17. So, we had no really conversation and no really connection until, you know, she was of age. And, you know, it's, people don't understand it. And I got a lot of course, I got a lot of backlash for marrying someone that was 19. And, you know, when we did finally start to talk, I was like, this woman is like me. And she was just like, when I would talk to her, she just, for one, we had a spiritual connection. And I feel like that's the most important thing. We both love God. We both love Jehovah. And that was key. And being able to start being around her and talking to her and talking to, like, we got it. We connected through music. And, you know, her spirit, her kindness, her heart reminds me a lot of my mom. And just, you know, we connected on so many different levels.
Okay. I were you finished, Key?
I get it. I mean, I understand why they, you know, he likes her and he fell in love. But I would not let my 19-year-old marry a 39-year-old. I don't care how much y'all connected. I don't care if y'all are symbiotic. I don't care if y'all almost Siamese twins. You're not marrying my 19-year-old, sir. But because she didn't have, and that's my thought process. The reason why I'm going through all this history is because she got, first of all, she got adopted because her mom lost custody of her, so she ended up getting adopted by another family, and they don't even chronicle if she ran away when she was with the adopted family and when she ran away when she was with her mom. So my thought process is like, who was there? Like who was there through this process? I have a 15-year-old. When my 15-year-old turns 19, I expect her to be in her second year of college. I don't expect her to be bringing home a 39-year-old talking about we getting married. I'm punching everybody in the forehead. No, you're not marrying this man.
Everybody got to get it.
Everybody catching it. At my dinner table, everybody's catching it. Because at 19 and 39, y'all have fundamentally different values. Now, Tasha said it's an old school marriage because, you know, 70 and 50 back then we get, you know, women got married super young. But back then, women didn't have rights. They needed somebody to help them secure their future. So you married whoever could secure your rights. Because even if you was 19 and he was 39, he had like 150 other kids. You was competing with like 11 other women. You don't have to do that now. And so my thought process is, where was her mother or any parental type figure? Did she run away and just do her own thing? Because when she popped out, she was 17, and Marques is saying that's when they met. Now, who they met through is questionable, but because she said they met through her best friend. Her best friend's name is Chrissy Morales. Chrissy Morales is what's old boy?
Kiara got all the tea.
What's old boy's name? Chrissy Morales is what's this man's name? Is he directed all of them? He directed the movies. The reason why they met each other is because he directed movies that Marques was in. Chris Stokes. Yes, Chris Stokes. He directed a bunch of the movies that Marques was in. All them beat movies,
You Got
the Dance
Served,
Joint, and all
Stomp
them
the Yards.
all them joints.
He didn't do Stomp the Yard.
I don't think he did Stomp the
You
Yard.
Got Served.
Those kind of movies.
You Got Served.
Those kind of things. Yeah, You Got Served. All them kind of joints. So that's how they met. And Maya and Chrissy got some sort of YouTube channel where they chronicle their lives and talk about the things that they do. But they met through Maya. They met through Maya's best friend, who is Chris Stokes' daughter. And so I'm just like, which means they all was the same age, which means Chrissy was around these grown behind men. I'm just like, yo, as a mom, I'm just like, this is not okay for me. But apparently men are like women, you know, we like our women young, we like women when they're of age, we like women. And I understand that. I don't know that 18 is of age because she could vote, but she can't drink. You know what I mean? Like, is 18 of age? I guess that then comes that draws the question: what is of legal age to be married? Like, would you marry?
The answer is 18. The answer is definitely 18.
So you would let your daughter get married at 18?
So let is an opportune word, right? Like, would I like her to get married at that age?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. Would I let her? Again, that's a certain word. I mean, she's still living in my house. She's 18. She grown. Would I like it? Would I let it? She grown. It's not something that I don't even like talking about this because it's my baby's 8. But still, you know what I'm saying? Let is an interesting word when a person is grown. Anybody?
Yeah, Tasha's saying if a rich guy didn't marry her, then some really greasy guy would have got a hold of her and taken advantage of her broken home background. That's true. I don't feel like 18 is grown. I know 18 is legal age, but I don't feel like 18 is grown at all.
I mean, I got you. I hear what you're saying as far as mentally, brain developing, all that stuff. Let's see here. But anyway, Goss, Brina, y'all just gonna be quiet?
No, if y'all finished. So I just be thinking about like, what do y'all talk about? What do y'all discuss? What do y'all got in common? What do y'all have like like it's so weird to me because I'm thinking like I'm thinking there are people that I talk to that have preach at colleges and things like that, and these are 18 and 19-year-olds. And we don't got nothing in common at all. And I'm 38. So it's around the same ages. And I have no kind of attraction to them at all. Mm-hmm. No kind of, I want to hang out with you and get to know you better at all. Like, it's like, yo, you're a kid. Let me preach to you and go home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hang out with you, nothing like that. So I can't imagine me having somebody that I want to, like, y'all want to marry this girl. Like, somebody that grips my heart when I first see her. Be like, this is what it is. So I think it's crazy. 20-year difference is crazy, yo.
Beyond crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Marques, like, even though it's like he could be a good guy, and she could be in a great situation, but it's just the optics look crazy. And I think that's what people are having a huge issue with, because a 17-year-old girl with a 30-plus-year-old man, it's like, that just seems weird. It just seems weird. So I get the backlash, because I gave it a side eye when I saw the headlines too. So we'll see what she thinks in 20 years.
Yeah, I guess that'll be interesting to see as well. I don't know. As someone who almost married somebody who was 13 years older than me, I don't
I can see that.
I don't know that I have a huge issue or anything with it. There is an appeal to marrying a younger woman for guys. So that there is an appeal there.
Yeah, it's called
that's not.
No, that's not true. Because I'll definitely talk to like a 25-year-old or 26-year-old. That's actually what I prefer.
Why would you prefer a 26-year-old when you're in your 30s?
Explain to her, and I'll explain it.
So, if you marry a girl, this is typically not for every woman in the world, but typically women that I've come across. If you marry a girl that's over 30 or close to 30 or in her 30s already, and she has no kids, she's going to want to press you to have kids because that biological clock is ticking. You marry somebody younger, they can put that off for a minute. They can be like, I'm chill, whatever. We can get there when we get there. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Two, my personality, I want to be out. I don't want to be in the house in not saying a boring marriage, but for me, it would be boring for me to be in the house and have a curfew and come home at a time. Like, I feel like I got to be with my wife and she's in the house too. And, mostly older women want to stay inside the house. They don't want to go out and be around people and that kind of thing. So all 25 and 26, 27-year-olds that I know, they're still want to be out and social and like, I want to be out all night with my wife together. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be, I'm tired, let's go home. So those two reasons for me. Third reason, what's my third reason? So typically it is, I think that men, as we get older, we look better as we get older, right? I feel like our physical.
Punch you in your face.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Typically, our prime for men, I think, is like 40, something like that. I think it is something like that. Like, it's something crazy.
Women's prime is 40. If you're talking sexual peak, y'all's are like 20.
No, it has nothing to do with sex.
Okay.
It wasn't talking about sex at all.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Talking about just how people look. Like our prime for men look more distinguished. They look more, more whatever as they get older. So what I'm saying is, and then typically, if you
Mo, nothing. Go ahead. No, I'm laughing at Mo in the chat. Go ahead.
Oh, got you. Got you. Kiara disappeared.
She'll be back. Keep going.
Oh, there she goes. So for me, I feel like it's physically the age difference, our prime and women's prime, it looks different on us.
That's what I was laughing at, Mo. Mo's like, I think Mo is seeing that a hole is about to be dug.
No, I don't
care. Yeah. And God doesn't care. I'm going to actually say something else to this, right? Well, the whole men with younger women type situation. This could be extremely revealing. I definitely think men enjoy being with women that look up to them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be a thing as well. Huh?
Nah, not well. I don't.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of men who enjoy being with women who look up to them. And so I think that has a lot to do with the older men dating younger women thing as well. Maybe it's the ability to provide, for one. They are at an age in which they can now provide, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, because they have a certain level of experience or cachet or life being lived, she now looks up to him in a sense. There's an admiration maybe that's there. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but then of course we do remember that women do mature faster than men, right? Mm-hmm. So you think about that aspect too. Like while a man in his 20s and a woman in his 20s maturity level normally aren't on the same level necessarily either. So there's that possibility. I think I was talking to Kiara and Brina and Tosh probably I think a week ago or so, and so I'm like, man, I could do nothing for no woman in my 20s. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't do nothing for no woman in my 20s.
I mean,
and, you know,
being in your 20s, like for instance, when Michael B. Jordan wanted to marry Lori Harvey, there was a 10-year difference. And as an older woman, I knew that wasn't going to work because Lori's in her 20s and Mike's in his 30s, walking up on his 40s. There's no way she's going to want to settle down. She has her own name. I feel like this young lady married for wealth. I'm not saying that she's a gold digger. She just ain't looking for no broke nigga. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I feel like her situation required her to upgrade her life, and she chose this old head. I don't care that they didn't get a chance to speak until she was of age, because for me, 18 may be what the United States says is of age, but I don't know an 18-year-old alive, unless they are orphaned, that is prepared to be a wife and a mom. So for me, this is grooming. Somebody said Cosby was 27 and Camille was 19. He's not a good example. Cosby's not a good example to use. I'm just letting y'all know off rip. Cosby confirms my argument, not the other ones, okay? Because Cosby was out here quaaluding niggas to death. You understand me? He's not a good example.
Define quaalude. It just sounded funny, but I'm sure it's
a horse tranquilizer that he was putting in people's drinks. He was giving people them quaalude cocktails, them quaalude smoothies. He was out. You understand? Like so he's not necessarily a good example. Guys, I would disagree. Well, I do agree that men can be distinguished in their 40s, but it has been my experience that by the time men in their 40s, their feet is falling off the bone. They're not taking care of themselves. So by the time you hit 40, you're looking for somebody to take care of you.
Yo, quote, she dissing you, bro.
I'm not saying quote. I said in my experience. Okay. I said in my experience. Quotes, feet are not falling off the bone, apparently. Okay. But most 40-year-old men of the diaspora are not caring for themselves in their 20s and 30s.
I don't know that to be true. I don't know that to be true. I mean, all the 40-year-old men I know, they still out here.
I know a lot of 40-year-old men who don't take care of themselves.
Because the 40s in this
gym, that's a different generation.
When you say not taking care of themselves, what are we saying here?
Physically taking care of themselves, mentally taking care of themselves, emotionally caring for themselves. They want somebody to.
But they were doing it in their late 20s and early 30s. You're saying.
No. They wasn't. That's why they a hot mess.
So they have not ever been taking care of themselves.
That's why they was a hot mess in their 40s.
Though, a 40-year-old today is different than when my dad was 40-year-old. where it was 40 years old. So this is why I feel like bro, like Quote's 40. I'm about to be 40 in 2 years. Like, and I'm still gonna be like taking care of myself, still throwing domination, still be out here in these streets. My friends and my friends group, they all close to 40, and they still out here thriving. Like they're literally not just getting into, but they're like getting into their part. Like, yo, I'm Himothy out here. So it's like I don't believe that this assertion that you're saying about 40-year-old men is true, because not the ones in Richmond that I know.
The assertion you're saying about 40-year-old women is true.
Oh, that's fine. We can disagree.
Okay, I'm glad we can.
No, I know some 40 and 50-year-old women who was
on point. I know a lot of women in their 50s,
and even from a sex drive standpoint as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, how do you know about their sex drive, Quote?
Because they talk about it. Because they talk about it, guys. Stop trying to make it seem like Quote out here slanging. He's not. Quote is a monogamous, faithful husband.
I'm just asking.
I am.
Y'all talk about sex in like y'all's groups. I'm never talking about sex with my wife or with my friends.
What? Okay, that's another.
And also, I know a lot of just older black women in general.
That's a real conversation.
Yeah, for me, I still think that this age gap is too far. A 20-year age gap is crazy. I've dated a guy 12 years older than me, and I've dated a guy 11 years younger than me. Both the one who was younger than me, it was a hot dumpster fire steeped in garbage juice. You understand what I'm saying? So like at some point, y'all don't have your life experience. Y'all don't have the same life experience. Like she hasn't been here long enough to be able to talk about life experiences on the level that you would need to. Like, what do y'all have in common?
So speaking about what men need to talk about concerning life experience might be like different than maybe what a woman might need to talk about concerning life.
That's a good point
too.
That's a fair point.
Like, I mean, just thoughts on that. Yeah. So
I still think it's too young. I mean, his wife now. They got a baby. They out here thriving. So I can't say that they're not.
She's a beautiful girl.
She's a very beautiful girl. She's stunning. So I'm not taking away from the fact that she's stunning, that she's probably really smart, that she's probably really like astute and a businesswoman about hers, and that they're probably very much in love and are thriving. I'm just saying that the status quo for a 20-year, like I don't want it to like there shouldn't be the status quo. Like 20-year age gaps still look wild. It still feels like grooming.
Absolutely.
Like even with Celine Dion, when Celine Dion met her husband, she was 13 and he waited for her to get legal. And I was like, he was like in his 30s. It was gross. He met her when she was a child.
I can't knock you because I'm, at my age, Chloe Bailey, who's 24, be having me feeling like a dirty old man. So I feel you. Yeah. So 19. Yeah.
It's like, what do y'all have in common aside from the fact that everything is still high and tight on this little girl? That's it.
Ain't nothing wrong with high and tight.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying, stay like fighting your weight in age class, my guy. Like, you trying to tell me you couldn't find a 28-year-old woman?
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying. 19 is 20-year gap is maybe a bit joint, but if it worked for them, it worked for them. And if she legal, she legal. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna knock it if they happy. Yeah. I guess I ain't gonna knock it if they happy. I guess. And if we don't hear about nothing else crazy concerning, but that's that interesting. Definitely Marques Houston. Definitely wish nothing for him, the best for him and Maya, and hopefully they have a long, prosperous life.
Miss Mayana Juanita.
Indeed.
Tastemakers. Classic. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make